Learn on One. Share your comments on the lessons. SMS your feedback, name and town to 555. Hashtag Learn on One. Invite learning in.
The one thing I love about these uncertain times is just how much rot is being exposed in all sectors of society. The slaves upon whose backs this economy are built are fighting back with the support of a few brave Namibians who are standing up and speaking out on the injustices they face in this here land of the brave. Money is the root of all evil for real, and the extent with which some people will exploit others in their pursuit of it, it must just fall. AR activist Tuafeni Pietrus is still at it. He recently appeared at a Chinese construction company where Namibians were being exploited, working without proper gear and without contracts. Check this out. Tea, anyone?
So, I need to understand, how do you communicate with gentlemen? No.
Who's it? And I said you guys are working without a contract. Huh? Without even a pay slip or something like that. And yet you guys are just working.
Where's your people? So we need to understand, our colleagues, what is really the problem? What is going on here at your company? Because most of you, some of you have already called me regarding about, some of you don't have contracts, isn't it? Huh? You understand? Why are you scared? What's the problem? Are you being victimized here? What's the problem? What are the problems that you are facing here? Huh? Must we go? There's no problem. No, what are the problems?
You don't have contract.
Okay, how many people that not have contract? We understand you are 55 employees here. How many of you does not have contract? Yeah, I was actually informed by the employees. Some of them called me that they are having unfair labor practice taking place at their site. The company is called African Big Lion. So upon our arrival, what we have discovered is that employees are working without contract, and on top of that, the remuneration actually, or the salary, is also not the same, irrespective of employees doing the same work. So we also find that the Chinese that were there that time, they could not really speak proper English, or communication was a bit difficult. Then we spoke to the supervisor. We asked him how does he then communicate then with his site manager or supervisors, the Chinese colleague. Then he tells us they normally do transfer through an SMS, where he writes an SMS in English and then he transfers into Chinese. That's actually the common practice. We have also come to realize that the dining hall where the employees are having their lunch is also not of a safety standard. One have seen the pic, how it looked like. It's only where they eat there. There's no tables, there are no chairs. And so far, after we left the Chinese, we're actually telling the employees that, or asking them why did they call the AR activists to come on site, because apparently they are paying them good salary and so on. Anyway, employees were also not, as you see in the video, were not really comfortable in speaking. So they were either being dictated or harassed there at their workplace. So we managed to have a meeting after work where employees came out and tell us really what is the issue on the ground. I also managed to recruit some of them because we have a few of them already that have joined AR. So far membership in both for the Revolutionary Union. So we managed also to do that after work. So, and then the next day, I think the next week on that, they called me that some of the employees got contracts, as you also saw in the videos, and some salaries will also adjust. So moving forward is a good thing that AR is doing, and we also just want to give a stern warning, especially to APS, African Personal Service, that is also playing a middleman, especially in the retail sector, mining and factories, that we are coming for them. We are not going to leave any stone on top of each other.
The revolution will be televised thanks to the smartphone. And then, yes.
I'm okay. Do you know this lady?
Yeah, but who are you? Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Dr. Peter from AR activist.
You are who?
Yes, I'm an AR activist.
What's an AR activist?
Somebody that deals with problems that pertaining employees or community at large.
Yeah, do you work for the Labour office?
I don't work for the Labour office. I'm an AR activist.
What does that mean?
No, anyway, that's not the story.
Listen.
Let's get to the bottom of the story.
I'm not discussing anything now. You don't bring people like this to me.
What do you mean?
Make an appointment to see
What
me.
appointment? Did you make an appointment when you deducted the lady's salary?
I'm not getting involved in anything with you.
When are you going to pay the lady's money? Listen here.
Make an appointment to see me.
Did you make an appointment when you deducted her money?
Dottie, I'm not getting involved in this business.
No. When are you going to pay her
Make
money?
an appointment to see me. Yes, I don't appreciate it.
She made an appointment already with you, but you did not reply.
I want to see you, so we talk, but you did not.
No, we are not leaving your shop up until you bring the lady's money. Look now, she see the minus in the bank because of you. Why did you reverse the money, her salary back?
I can't hear you. No, I'm not.
What appointment do you want? Did you make an appointment when you reversed the salary
Can I just
back?
say something? I'm alone at the store. I cannot give you my undivided attention. Make an appointment. Give me a specific time. I have a representative if this is even necessary.
Why didn't you do that in the first place?
I'm not doing it.
Why
I'm not
didn't you?
talking.
No, we are not going to leave this place.
I'm not having this meeting, Dottie.
Have you ever wanted to contact 99FM? Well, guess what? 99FM appsters can message us directly in the studio, send shout-outs, or ask questions, and we will respond directly to you. You can also send us voice notes and videos that you'd like us to play live on the air, and view exclusive offers and competitions only available to 99FM appsters. So, what are you waiting for? Become a 99FM appster right now by downloading the app, which is available on Android and the iOS App Store. 99FM, your inspiration station.
Hi there, parents. Do you have primary school kids and want them to get extra quality supplementary lessons to up their grades? Then simply switch to One Africa TV's #LearnOn1, where your kids can get maths, English and science lessons every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. And thanks to NMH's MyZone, these lessons are 100% Namibian. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
Throughout lockdown, we heard how truck drivers have been going through it, with beef between cross-border drivers and drivers in, for example, South Africa in particular. Peterson Kambinda is the Commander-in-Chief of the newly formed Namibia Revolutionary Transport Union and is spearheading efforts to bring some dignity to the workers at the coast.
We have received some complaints from 4 different companies where employers have given deadlines to the employees that some of them been given until end of November, that if they are not being vaccinated, then they ought to lose their jobs. But our position as a union is that as long as the Constitution is not amended and the Labour Act is not amended, there is no employee who have to be able to lose their position just because of their job, just because they are not being vaccinated. And then we have also seen a serious problem when on accidents happening on our roads, that a lot of lives they are being lost, and some of these accidents involving trucks or truck drivers. And some of these accidents we have also noted that they could be able to be easily avoided. How is because we have also noted that there is some employees or some employers forcing the employees to work or to drive long hours, even 16 or 18 hours. And these hours, then these employees at the end of the day, they become fatigued and they possess serious threats to the road users. So it is for that reason that it is, if you look at the Labour Act prescribes that at least the normal working hours person in a day, it's 9 hours. But then you find a driver driving 16 or 18 hours, then that possesses a very serious risk to the employees or to people on the road. Both the employers, the government, and the union as stakeholders, we really need to be able to find common grounds or an amicable solution to this, because one life lost on the road is already one too many. There is an incident which happened just 2 days ago, whereby a driver lost a life 5 kilometers to Arandes. And what we are hearing here is that the driver was driving, coming from the south, and he informed the operator that I am a bit fatigued, so I am tired, and let me be able to rest. But then the operator told him that that load needed to be able to arrive. It needed to be offloaded tomorrow. So did not consider the healthy aspect of the person. And then what we are talking today now is unfortunately that one of our colleagues or a member is no longer with us. Something which sometimes it could have been able to be been avoided, but now a life had been lost and damage to property, but it's just because of not understanding the fatigue management or having proper fatigue management into place.
While some have criticized the unions and hold no particular regard for them, the workers who face exploitation every day remain hopeful that someday some of their plight will be alleviated. I asked Peterson Kambinda why he decided to engage workers in the transport sector.
The reason why we decided to form a union in the transport sector is the colleagues or the employees in the transport and logistics sector, we can be able to almost say that they are the worst exploited employees in the country, because 31 years after independence, you will be able to see that they have not been organized for them to be able to belong or to have a proper voice. So it is for that reason that the employees themselves and us, we came together and then decided that we needed to be able to have a one voice, which can be able to be that it's a voice for economic freedom, because now we have got already the country's independence, but the economic freedom to truck drivers especially have not yet arrived, and it is even far from it being realized. So one have to be able to have that platform for us to be able to address the economic freedom. Truck drivers in Namibia, they are the only one which were not having a union which was there to be able to try to protect and advance their interest. But now that there is Nareto, in a union space, what normally used to happen is that as things are going to go now, taking off the past really that the drivers, whatever used to be happening to them in foreign countries and all that, because they were not having a union. But like now, we have that, they have now a union that whenever, if there is something happening in outside our borders, our union, we can be able to get with our counter parts from the other side, because there is also transport unions in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and every SADC countries where our members are going. Anything which can happen, we can easily be able to contact our counterparts on the other side, and then whatever needs to be sorted, it can be able to be sorted through that those channels. Yeah, but you see the difference with Naretu and some other unions is that as a union it is not myself, but a union it is me and a truck driver. So that's what calls a union. Now, for you to be able to fight somebody's economic freedom, that person needs to be part and parcel of that fight. It cannot be the union to go and fight for that economic freedom alone, no, but it is together. Now, in this case, is that we need to build the capacity among the truck drivers themselves or the members themselves. We need to capacitate them to come to be at the level of that. Because even if tomorrow I am no longer there, the union cannot be able to follow me to my grave. But rather, the union must still be able to go stand that test of time that after I am gone, somebody else can be able to step in. Now, in these cases, that let me say, for example, that employees at Snyman Transport, for example, it is not only me to go and negotiate with Snyman, no, but rather to capacitate the leaders, to have leaders at Snyman Transport, capacitate them to the level that they can be able to negotiate and defend themselves. Now, how do you do that? Is by providing them training. So what we are going to do is that once we have signed that recognition with Snyman, then we need to be able to elect the branch leaders at Snyman Transport. Those leaders, you capacitate them, you take them through trainings. So trainings which can be able to make them that they can be able to go and fight and defend for themselves. Now then, if after 2 years, they are not getting their economic freedom, they cannot come and blame that, no, the union have not done anything. But they can blame themselves that we have been provided the training to defend ourselves and to negotiate for better wages, but ourselves we have failed. So that is how it's supposed to be able to be done. It is not that like now today I am traveled out of Windhoek. It's not that every day I have to be traveling to go out there and negotiate, but we need to capacitate the people themselves so that they can be able to defend and advance their interests also themselves. The employers, they must not be able to look at a union as just that as like a problematic organization, but rather they need to be able to take us as a stakeholder, because when the employees have chosen us to be their representative, now when the employees, if we work together and then we find to any problem amicable solutions, what happens thereafter is that the organization, when the employees are happy, the organization can thrive. But when the organization, when the employees are not happy, you cannot also expect productivity out of unhappy employees. So you can only be able to maximize your profit only when the employees are working happily. You respect their rights and all of that. When these things are in place, you will be able to see the growth of your company. It can also be able to grow, to taking it to higher heights. Is that all? Yes.
We're about insightful conversations.
We're about business, your
startup and SME,
your entrepreneurial journey,
especially your hustle.
No. We are Afro content.
No, Afro excellence.
And bubble culture.
We're more like culture. The crème du crème.
For your daily dose of ingenuity and insight,
flair and sophistication.
Catch us weekdays at 6 to 10 a.m.
Sivo and Mo in the morning. Dude, no. Must you be extra? Must we be extra? Ah!
You can't beat that feeling of that well-deserved reward after a long day of being able to indulge in everything you love. The best thrilling live sport and freshest local and international shows.
And I told you I was going to get very real with this thing.
Taking in those ultimate OMG moments. Losing yourself in the most compelling and talked about series. And living the world's most exclusive entertainment. It's that feeling of having the power in your hands.
I want one.
It feels good. Of being able to access an even bigger collection of entertainment with a connected Explorer and enjoying whatever you want, wherever you like, 24/7. It's renting great blockbuster movies without ever leaving your couch. Or getting even more unique shows, series and movies on Showmax at no extra cost. It's that feeling of having a full plate. So get that feeling with DSTV Premium.
Mpaka tuyadha otuli pamwe nangoe mompombo mainyanyudho ote mukuru okuzangenea toterwe mombo omaovigali ni kweigiali omrunga radio ogwakala nokukundaneka okunyanyudha nokuyakuroshiwana omrunga radio yotango mo Namibia.
Stefan de Blanche of FB De Toy and his driver also shared some of the plight that they had to endure during lockdown.
Everybody must work together to see how we can assist these drivers, how we can make it easier for them. Because currently, now the drivers, this total COVID, the pandemic, since we have the first lockdown, end of March, it's more than 3 months now. Most of our drivers didn't go home in this 3 months. They don't see their families.
I spoke to truck driver Nathaniel Jonas.
The problem is net onze gaan niet meer reis doen nie. Onze zoals nou ik kom ik ben net zo tot nou ik gaan aflijn naar dan ik gaan laden dan ik kom zo mole zoals nou ik gaan halalen toe. Ik ga niet eens toe. Die probleem is net zo. Zoals nou die government ik niet ons. Zoals nu onze weer huis toe gaan, maar die gaan niet eens toe niet. Er is die government die zegt, mag niet dat op de is. Nee, sorry, daar is niet probleem man. Ja, zoals nu onze rij, dat op die pad dat is een lot broken nee. Nee, le vrouw net joh dan is klein feed vanaf dat zo je rij. Nee, is niet probleem man. Die probleem van die toetjes net is op baby. Bij Botswana. Botswana altijd je kan hier daar zo les checken daar zo bij die nieuws en niet zo bij die wat is probleem van us. Is dat mensen nou willen niet gaan niet kan willen niet kan. Omdat dat is checken is een probleem. Ja, corona is een probleem je nek mensen. Toen je weer gaan daar zo bij Guaradine ne? Na toen je ja, ai Yen wie is alright, maar laat die vroegen de ene die toevierde. Ai, je wil springen die toch aan is toe.
AR activist Tuafeni Petrus found his calling and chose to represent the slaves upon whose backs the economy is built. He shared some of the insights he has gained in his quest to liberate his fellow brethren and sistren.
The Mine Workers Union, when I was a member of the Mine Workers Union, I actually stood from shop steward and then I became a branch chairperson and then I was the regional chairperson. In life, people will fear you when you are doing the right thing. You understand? And I've come to realize this is a theme of you should turn a blind eye when workers are being exploited. You understand? And that is not what my heart desires. You understand? And to me, getting fired or whatever they call it in the media, that is something that I've already told myself. I'm not going to go with the team that is only there for tea and cookies or to be seen, to look nice to employers. But my vision and aim is to represent the workers' interests and the community at large. And that's it. I'm very glad to be an AR activist now, where I'm free to operate and to assist where I can. And mission accomplished. I mean, we all the best for AR going forward in the future. and we will regulate and free people from the mire of this apartheid and colonialism system that is embarking, especially in the working class of Namibia. I'm having 2 phones now, which is actually non-stop ringing, which is also irritating now and then, but one have to attend to it. By the way, people are calling as late as 9 o'clock in the evening, whereby, if you are a servant of the people and people are seeing that AR is doing a great job, I also almost receive over 15 calls a day on both my cell phone numbers. Today I received a very sad story that there's a company in Karabab where women are working at a brick making company or factory, so-called to say, which one still need to organize and go meet up with management, where a lady, apparently her fingers were cut and she was booked off, and that same month she was also not paid, and as we speak now she's still at home. So things of this magnitude, really, employees have been exploited and government is literally doing nothing. Trade unions that have been existing, as you see, they are just there for decoration.
And with that, it's a wrap. Thanks for watching.
Scientists are racing to find a COVID-19 vaccine. Creating a vaccine usually takes years, sometimes even decades. More than 150 vaccine candidates are being developed worldwide. Some of the trials furthest ahead have produced encouraging results. Several possible vaccines appear to have produced an immune response with antibodies, T cells, and no serious side effects. Antibodies are protective proteins that fight infections in the body. Some T cells kill infected cells. Others help B cells to make the right antibodies to fight a virus. It's uncertain how long immunity to COVID-19 would last. 6 other human coronaviruses have been known about for years. Natural immunity for the most common 4 is quite short-lived and generally lasts a few years. A COVID-19 vaccine could require booster jabs after years or even months. Scientists are using a variety of methods to make a vaccine. Several human trials are creating vaccines using the genetic code of the virus. Other human trials, and some with animals, are trying more traditional methods, such as using a weakened or inactive virus. This variety might lead to more than one type of vaccine. Having several could actually be very useful, as each one may be more effective among different people. Despite the promising progress, it's not guaranteed an effective and reliable vaccine will be found. If there isn't one, the virus might eventually infect everyone. Some scientists are hoping to have a vaccine ready for limited use before the end of this year, but most are predicting mid-2021. Once regulators have approved a vaccine, billions of doses will have to be made. Then there's the tricky task of distributing and administering it on a global scale. Collaboration will be needed so the poorest don't miss out. Health workers could be at the front of the queue to get it, but who should be next in line?
Prevention is important. Help prevent the spread of illness and keep yourself and others well. Hand washing is one of the most effective ways of preventing the spread of germs. Wash your hands regularly with soap and hot water, scrubbing your hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds. Hand sanitizers can be used but are not recommended as a substitute for hand washing. Use sanitizers in addition to hand washing or in a situation where soap and water are not available. To avoid spreading germs, limit sharing of personal items such as utensils, cups, and dishes. Your skin acts as a barrier to germs, but your eyes, nose, and mouth are more vulnerable. Wash your hands thoroughly before touching your face, eating, or drinking. Avoid physical contact with others, including handshakes, fist bumps, high fives, hugs, and kisses.